Okay, so Black Clover chapter 318, let's get into this review. Go ahead and leave a thumbs up on your way in, but without further ado, let's get into the video. Now, if you remember where we left off, Lucifero had ran up on Asta, and as I was hoping, there was a little interaction between him and Leibe. Remembering back to when Lisa had prevented his manifestation in the past, Leibe's like, do you remember me? It's funny because he's not even in his original form, he's in his like shrunken down state, but then he just starts turning up, he's all, you know, the one who killed Lisa. But then Lucifero, of course, doesn't know what he's talking about, straight up roasts that boy, says he has no scrap of magic power, and then he starts turning up. He says, I won't tolerate the existence of someone such as you. Lucifero proceeds to then just demolish the landscape. I gotta say though, it's pretty impressive that Asta's still standing in his base form at that. As the gravity is weighing down on them, Leibe really emphasizes on the fact that more than anything, what he wants to defeat is him. And without hesitation, they bust right into Devil Union mode. But almost immediately, Noct is like, hold on, don't make any sudden movements. This is the King of Devils we're working with here. But it doesn't seem he listened as he swings his Demon Slayer sword and yeah. After activating Devil Union mode, Asta doesn't hesitate to go in for an attack on Lucifero. Now it's pretty interesting here is the Supreme Devil that's watching here on the sideline is actually pretty impressed by Asta's feat here. He's surprised to the fact that someone can move within Lucifero's ability, but he doesn't have any magic power, so he's like, he's weird. Asta points out that he has 4 minutes left in his Devil Union mode. He goes in for an attack, but Lucifero catches it with ease. Now that's definitely a mistake on Asta's part. He definitely should have turned his sword into the divider. I mean, we're dealing with Lucifero here. You can't put anything but his best up front, so he was definitely lacking on that part. And what's also scary here is he can't even move it away, like he's simply holding it there with his hand easily. Now what's funny here is he slides his finger across Asta's blade and he cuts himself. I'm guessing he's not used to seeing swords. Kind of makes sense, I guess, because there's likely not any devils using weapons in the underworld, so yeah. It's still funny to see him like unknowingly like wipe his finger across the blade like it wouldn't get cut or something. What's funny here is he just gets furious after like he didn't just cut himself. And Lucifero proceeds to deck Asta like straight in his face, sends him flying. I'm gonna get a little insight here as the Supreme Devil points out that even though he's half manifested, Lucifero's magical and physical abilities are unmatched. So while he's also the most powerful like magic user, of course, as the King of Devils, he's also not lacking physically, so yeah, that's pretty terrifying. What's also interesting is that on the other parts of the battlefield, his gravity is still so intense that it's holding everyone down. We see that the Black Bulls are still struggling to even stand up. We see that thanks to Vanessa using Rogue, he was able to keep them from getting harmed, but it's only so much longer that they can hold that up. So then we see Elsa crashing into the ground, never getting sent flying by Lucifero. They see Elsa hit the ground and they also notice that Lucifero is following him. Vanessa points out that if he so much as comes a little closer, it's gonna crush all of them. Now what's impressive about that is like, it's not even just his gravity magic at that point, it's straight up his presence being so intense that it's overwhelming the Magic Knights. They even point out that just his presence alone is enough to force everything down. Like, that is insanity. We also haven't even seen him use any abilities yet, so I'm definitely worried to see what he's actually capable of. So it's funny because we see also on the floor here and he's talking about he can't see straight just after being punched. He dang near knocked his lights out. Like, man. We get an epic scene here of the Magic Knight captains joining Asta in battle. One thing I do want to point out is that we finally get to see Fuegoleon in action again. It's going to be interesting to see him and Mereoleona tag team. All the Magic Knight captains working together as well. That's going to be interesting to see. I am worried though as to what the Supreme Devil is going to do. So far he just seemed to be on the sidelines watching, but you know, any moment now he could join into the battle and make an upset. Although one thing that is apparent among the devils is that they aren't necessarily working together, so the Supreme Devil may not even actually care about Lucifero, so he's probably just there to watch. For all we know, he might just join in and try and attack Lucifero as well, so. Alright, well it seems like war has officially broken out, although it seems to only be against Lucifero at this point. Well, if you made it this far, I appreciate you sticking around. Hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm, I greatly appreciate that. If you've been enjoying this Black Clover content, consider hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell as well. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.